Okay, this is the milkfish that we're working on, or Rich is working on, shall I say.
Yes.
She's bought fresh today for the
For the workers.
workers.
Yeah, and bananas from guava from the garden.
What have we got there?
Organic sweet potato, what do you call it?
Leaves.
Sprouts?
Potato sprouts.
Yes, the young leaves. Sprouts, isn't
Young
it? Yeah.
sweet potato sprouts.
Yes. So this is what we're gonna put in our sinigang.
In the sinigang.
Milkfish sinigang.
So this is milkfish.
Yes,
You're
it's
making a
soup.
sinigang.
Milkfish
It's a fish soup.
yes.
Okay.
And what's gonna make them taste nice are guavas.
And guavas.
I picked some fresh and it's already in the pot, but because they're too good to waste, so what I did, whenever there's some on the trays, I pick them and put them in the freezer.
Okay.
So I added some because there's not.
So you
not
can.
a lot
So
of
guavas
fresh,
will retain their quality
yes,
in the freezer.
In the
will they?
freezer, yes, you can still.
Providing
use
you cook them.
Yes.
You can't eat them as
And
fresh.
obviously, yesterday when I was in the market, an old man was selling okra. They were very fresh yesterday.
Okra. Oh right. Yes.
This was like 20 pesos, so 3p.
3 pence.
Yeah, 3 pence.
For two
Yes.
bunches of okra.
Yes, but I'm gonna put them in there. But yesterday they were freshly picked
Okay.
from the garden.
Right.
Okay, so that's all we're cooking.
Okay, that's being boiled basically. Yeah, and then you put that in with the fish.
Oh,
Or you
yeah,
went to
once
the,
that's,
or you went
once
to the
that-
fish with this.
No, once that's cooked,
Yes.
then you can put the fish and the vegetables and season.
Into this same
Yes,
pot.
yes.
Okay. Got it. Okay, so that's
Very healthy this guava.
that makes the
rich in
Senegal.
vitamin C.
okay.
Okay?
Yep. Good girl. Bonnie built this little shelter for. Okay. Alright, so the puppies are doing well. Very well. Anybody wants a puppy?
Why so
In Luzon?
early?
We will have some puppies in about 7 weeks.
Hindi, kasi kailangan ng ayusin yun. Ilang day off ni Daddy, so pwede namin puntahan. Kailangan mo ba bang itay ako ng tsaka
Okay,
magtama?
what you'll see, Itchy is talking. Itchy, I'm calling it Itchy now.
sorry, no,
Richie is talking to Rena through the window,
I'm
the window
trying
above
to
the sink.
Give, what do you call it? Give,
Advice?
not the direction. What
Advice?
No, not advice. You know what she's supposed to do. Yes.
Instructions.
Ano?
I've just been reading an interesting article by the BBC in Japan, their Japanese network, basically, and it was brought to my attention by a student that in a town in Japan, Toyoaki, which is a town in central Japan, the municipality came up with a proposal to restrict smartphone time usage. Basically, they want to restrict it. The proposal is a 2-hour daily limit on smartphone use for all its residents. They don't want to enforce it. They're just putting it as a recommendation. The proposal submitted by the local municipal government, the proposal would limit smartphones use to 2 hours per day for all 69,000 residents. The guidelines are voluntary. The town's mayor, Masafumi Koki, clarified that the restriction would not be strictly enforced. Instead, it was intended as a guideline to encourage families to manage their screen time. That was the proposal. The 2-hour limit would apply to leisure use of devices only, so not for work or studying. Okay, so that's reasonably, I suppose, put together. Reasoning the mayor that while smartphones are indispensable, overuse has been linked to problems such as students skipping school and adults sacrificing sleep. There's also some concern about mental disorder and depression. Public reaction so far to the proposal was met with debate both online and in direct communication with the government. Approximately 80% of residents' feedback during a consultation period expressed negative sentiments towards this idea. And I can understand why. If I think about it, yeah, I mean, I think if we talk about social media, watching too many YouTube videos, playing too many games, gambling, dare I say, in this part of the world where we are, can take up a lot of time with people. People get obsessed and they spend hours. So they look at their screen time and they can't believe it sometimes. Their screen times can be as high as 7 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours on screen time. You know, where your phone is actually open and you're looking at your screen, which is ridiculous on leisure activities. You know, it's really not appropriate, in my opinion, to have anybody doing it for that sort of period of time. On saying that, you know, I use my smartphone for quite a lot of stuff. Okay, now let me put social media to one side. So YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp, and all this sort, which is all communication. I mean, WhatsApp I use for work as well as for leisure, and Facebook as well to some extent with the Messenger service I have as well. And I also promote stuff on Facebook, so it's not all leisure. I mean, yes, I look at stuff on Facebook, but I also look at the markets. I look at things that are going on locally, so it's useful for purchasing certain things, etc. YouTube is entertainment. You know, not only do I put my own videos on YouTube, but I also do watch some videos on YouTube, as well as on other platforms. But I also use my smartphone for health things. I'm linked up to my smartwatch using my phone, so I measure all my daily stats. You know, how many steps, blood sugar, heart rate, HRV, glucose counts. I think. What else? I can do I can do a full cardiovascular check. That, you know, a reasonable one that gives me the signs. I can do, what else can I do? I can maintain my temperature checks. I can check my oxygen levels. The oximeter's on there as well, and a number of other things. But mainly for exercise and steps, I tend to use it for mainly. So it's useful. What else do I use my phone for? Oh, well, I use it for my financial needs. I use it for my banking and for account moving, and both here in the Philippines and in the UK. I use it for purchases. So, and of course, I use it for general communication, speaking to family members, of course. So it's always useful to have. It's a walking, you know, it's not so much it's a walking, just a phone and for playing games on. It's a walking computer, walk around computer that I have access to whenever I need it for certain things, even in emergencies. So it's a useful thing to have. So restricting our use on smartphones, I think it's restricting our use on leisure activities so we don't become addicted to, particularly what I see a problem with in the Philippines is gambling, playing games, gambling, that sort of thing. It seems to have a huge intensity in that area, and I think that can be quite dangerous for people because they can end up losing a lot of their money in that area, and it costs them a lot dearly. So that's a problem, I think. But would I restrict them? No, I wouldn't. I think sensible use of phones is what's important. So sensible people haven't got time to waste it on just gambling all day. They do other things with their phones as well. You might want to conduct some business on your phone to make some money, to have some money coming in the other way. You might want to get some other forms of education to improve yourself. That's also very important. So yeah, there's a lot of things on your smartphone that make it useful for knowledge going in and not just stuff going out. Right, now it's time to talk about the items for the first aid box that we have on the compound. And like I said, every time I make a video, I'm going to talk a product that I think is an essential product or want to consider for your first aid box when you're in the Philippines. Okay, well, I'm going to talk about two products today, and these are both available in the UK as well. These, I know one of them definitely is used quite often now. It's become quite popular, and the other is you can get it in the UK as well. I've had both in the UK. Okay, so it's red and it's white Tiger Balm. Okay, there's the red, here's the white. And I'm just going to explain what they're used for, and then we can actually tell you how long I've been using it as well. Okay, first of all, in terms of what, and I'm going to go off the details that are from the product manufacturer. The main ingredients in white Tiger Balm, first of all, it's menthol, it's camphor, it's eucalyptus oil, and it's clove oil. Okay, this is what the ingredients in it. Both of these products, by the way, are based on herbal ingredients and with slightly different formulations, and that's why I'm going to go through both really. So that's the white, okay? And what's its uses and benefits? Well, it's got the white has got a cooling effect when it comes to the treatments. It provides relief for headaches, nasal congestion, and dizziness. It also helps respiratory aid, helps open block sinuses when rubbed on the chest or inhaled. Okay, headache relief. Applying to the temples or the forehead can ease tension headaches. Muscle and joint aches, mild pain relief, mild muscles and joint relief, sprains, stiffness, and even fatigue. Insect bites reduces itchiness and irritation, and best for those who prefer a cooling sensation rather than a heat sensation. Now, I sometimes you have a bit of a headache after working and sitting in front of a screen a long time, and it's very easy to just zap a couple of paracetamol and get rid of the headache that way. But sometimes I don't do that. For some reason, I don't just take painkillers for the sake of taking painkillers. But sometimes this, a little bit rubbed here and here, okay, and sit back and just listen to the wireless. Lay down in a dark room. No, I don't mean literally that, but a little bit is rubbed into this area here, even across here, and it hits the problem straight away and works really well. Again, if you've got persistent headaches, I would say go and see your doctor if your headaches aren't going away after days and days of taking headache pills or using this. But for that ease of tension, it works really well. Okay, now let's talk about the red Tiger Balm. I would say this is probably the most popular one in use in the UK now. Over the last 10 years, I noticed you could buy it sort of before 10 years ago. You could buy it in Chinatown and in Asian medicine shops and things around. But now you can buy it in Tesco, you can buy it in any pharmacist, I think. It has become very popular, very effective. Some people describe this as, in the UK, when I've talked about it before, they've introduced it to people, it's described as like Vicks Vapor Rub on steroids. That's what they call it when they've experienced it for the first time. Okay, the main ingredients of the red, first of all. Again, it's menthol, camphor, cajeput oil, cassia, that's cinnamon oil, and that's the main ingredients of this particular product. Okay, uses and benefits. Warming effect, promotes blood circulation to relieve deeper aches. Muscle and joint pain, stronger relief for arthritis, rheumatism, back pain and sports injuries. I know when I've had if I've had a back ache problem, and I used to get it quite regularly when I've been sitting a long time in a chair, and you know, the lower end of the back especially, and I'd get Rishi to rub this on the base of my back, you know, massage it into the lower part of the back, and wow, does it really get into the area and really affect it in a positive way. You feel it burning into your body, into your muscle area really quickly. Okay, so it's that strong relief of arthritis, rheumatism, back pain and sports injuries. Stiffness relief as well, good for warming up stiff muscles before exercise. Yeah, sometimes if I felt a bit stiff and I was going for a walk on the trails in the Peak District area, next to my home, the what's it called again now? The Pennine Way, it used to be called. I used to do a lot of walking down there and I've used some of this before I went for a walk, just to loosen up my legs as well when I've been sitting for a long time. So definitely, it's in terms of good for stiffness relief, and sports people use this type of product for that as well. Insect bites, like the white version, can reduce itch and swelling. Okay, and best for those who prefer warming sensations to soothe soreness. So don't forget. So the red one is very much for the heat, for the heating treatment, and the white one, sorry, that was why the lid came off, is very much for the cooling effect. So one hot, one cool in terms of cooling effects. That's what they are. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the comparisons, so we can do a bit more on the comparison here. Okay, well, the comparison is what I've just said. Basically, white balm, cooling, lighter, better for headaches, colds and mild pains. Red, heating, stronger, better for muscle, joint pain and stiffness. It says both should be applied externally, only never on broken skin or near eyes or mucous membranes. Not recommended for very, very young children. Okay, which I think is common sense, really. But again, if you have problems with any of these aches and pains and this isn't working, you know, obviously consulting your doctor is then the next step to do. But again, in a place like this, you have to be used to self-medication. You've got to get used to this sort of form of activity, because you're going to pick up aches, pains, colds, headaches, bites, stings, scratches, little infections, and things. You're going to have all these things, and this sort of stuff I'm talking to you about at the moment is all the kind of stuff that can keep you away from the doctor, or at least keep a lid on certain things before they get out of hand. And that's really what the idea of these products are, to do that. Okay, so that's my take on this particular video. It's the Tiger Balm, the red and the white.